Morning. We had a little issue with the camera. I hope it's working. If you can see me, thumbs up or wave or throw something at the screen so I know that you're out there. Day 28, be positive. I'd be careful. My computer is being um, kind of picky this morning. So I hope you guys all had a good weekend. Today's the first day of the week. Hit the ground running, get up there, make some plans, make things happen. I'm not, as we get to the end of this challenge, I feel like I've repeated myself in the lessons learned. So when I start getting close to the end like this, I wake up and ask my number one confidant, hey, what should we talk about today? And which usually it seems to me that we've already talked about it. Well, that's because, and I had to reframe this, they all coincide. Everything that we've discussed, even though they might have been different ways of approaching things and different ways of looking at it, I have to remind myself that it's all moving us toward one direction, being positive, right? And of course, I deviate and I take this off ramp and that off ramp and teach little lessons. Great. Teach little lessons about things that I've learned and share experiences and share some of the things that we're all going through. When I do that, and I've done it most of my life, my adult life anyway, thank you. I can tell you this, as I share experiences and I talk and I teach and I lead people where they can be. There's the word I'm looking for. Where they can be, not where they should be, not where they're going to be. But as a leader, I just wrote this earlier. You can't take somebody where you haven't been. So when I share experiences with people, what I'm doing is I'm trying to open gates. I try to look for commonalities, and it's not me looking, it's me watching. And I watch for a reflection of truth. Let me explain. So as we speak, and I can't see you, but I see your post. And good morning, everybody. And I missed you yesterday, but I think it was good to take that little break and listen to what you said. But as I tell stories and I share experiences, people will relate. People relate. We all have the same, not exactly the same, but we all have similar reactions and experiences in life. And if we have the exact same experience, some of us may see it differently and frame it differently, but it's still a lesson that we are one. We are connected. So when I tell these stories and when I share things like this, I look for, and not just visually, but I try to read or listen for cues of reflection. And when I find them, as a leader or a teacher, I can help whoever it is I'm speaking with or listening to find the best in themselves about what is next or what that means or what that can mean. Does that make sense? So as we look at all of these lessons that we've been learning and you've been teaching me and I've been sharing with you, we all have the similar experience, right? Raise your hand, say aye, right? If you've ever felt that way. So this morning, I remembered a lesson that I learned from that documentary. Actually, I didn't learn it from the documentary. I found it again from the documentary. You know what I mean? You know something, you've learned something, and then it comes back up and you go, hey, I remember that. So the documentary reminded me that as we are all one, there's an experience that Einstein uncovered, I believe it was Einstein, of quantum entanglement. Okay, you can look up who came up with it and help me with that, but I believe it was Einstein and his theory of quantum entanglement. What he found out was that you can have two particles of the same particle, split them and separate them infinitely. And what one does, the other does. And it's not a delayed response. It doesn't go, okay, this one moves, then this one moves. It's if you move this one, the other one moves with it. Quantum entanglement, those two particles that you separated, you really didn't separate. All you did was put space between them. So we're made up of the same particles. Okay? We are all the same. We're energy. And I believe that what affects one affects the other. Isn't that true? Now, when I say affects, good morning, I don't mean, and you see this in twins. I remember hearing this about twins. One twin would be in another country, another state or something, and experience the same exact feeling as the other twin at the moment for no apparent reason. This twin burns her hand, this one feels it. That's not what I'm talking about, but maybe it is. What I'm speaking of is that all of us have similar, what's a good way to put this? Stimulation points, and we all react to them differently. Okay, let's just use the burning the hand real quick. One person burns their hand in the fire, another person burns their hand in the fire. And it didn't happen because of cause and effect. I'm using a relationship idea for a minute. Okay, follow me. So I am sitting with my family out by a fire, which is very rare, but I'm out there, we're doing it, and I'm cooking marshmallows or whatever it is. My grandkids are with me. I'm having a good time. My wife is with me, and my daughters are with me. I miss my daughters. And I stick my hand in the fire on accident, whatever. It gets too close or something, and it burns my hand. How could I react to that? How could I, what reaction could I use for that sensation? Well, there's a lot, right? Probably one or two that you came up with right away. Ow, crap, oh man, how stupid am I? Bad words to use. Oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Should, right? Or, whoa, that fire's warm. And then left it at that and moved on. Or, wow, I shouldn't get too close. Or, wow, I got too close. How you frame that is based on your experience and your communication with yourself. Okay? But others across the world know what it's like to get burned in the fire. People that have lived a while have felt something hot, stick their hand in fire, put something, and they know the reaction. So how it makes me feel in here, I think, is what radiates between us as the quantum entanglement. Am I angry about it? Am I upset about it? Am I patty pathetic about it? No offense, Aunt Patty. Am I patty pathetic? It's just a phrase. I'll never touch it. I'll never do a fire again. I'll never. And that heart, that radiance from the heart, I believe, and it's kind of out there, is still picked up on by other people who sit at fires. When they sit down to a fire, the experience of what I just experience is out there, and the energy for other people to be aware of and think to themselves, especially if they felt the fire before, these are the associations I can associate with that feeling of fire. Did I lose you? I know it's deeper, but quantum entanglement. How this thought that I just shared with you came to me is I had a student one time, Joe Gaskin, and she takes it upon herself to take in animals and help them. And she gives of herself to these animals almost to the point of her detriment, her own detriment. But it's what she does, okay? And she just, that's what she does. And we were discussing deer one time, and I've discussed deer behavior with hunters before, right? And they all have their thoughts and theories on how deer move and migrate and communicate, things like that. And Jill and I, like a lot of my students, were having deeper conversations during Tai Chi class and Kung Fu class and philosophical ideas. And she had a theory of, I don't know what to call it, but it was like a connected soul. Like she believed, and I'm probably in there somewhere that it's a little bit of a lot of things, but part of what I'm about to tell you, I felt was right for me. All deer shared one soul. All dogs share one soul. Not, hey, just follow me for a minute, okay? And that would explain why a brand new deer who's never been shot at, never experienced anybody chasing it down, can and instinctively knows where not to go and where, you know what I mean? And what means danger. I'm sure a lot of them figure it out on the way, but there's this if you've seen them move, there's an inherited instinct that travels through them. And she believed that they all connect, the energy connected. So what one knew and one felt, the others instantly knew and instantly felt. And I thought that was pretty cool. Dogs, the same way. My dog, to my knowledge, has never been shot at. Maybe his sister, maybe she died when I was in China and she was shot or something. But when he sees a gun, he books it, he runs. And what was more interesting is a bow and arrow. We pulled out a bow and arrow set one time, and he was outside, and he booked it. Now, we've never shot arrows at this dog with a bow. Trust me, you haven't. But he booked it. He instinctively knew that, hey, this is wrong. So I feel that quantum entanglement is also a connectedness and energy. Now, if they have it and particles have it, who's to say we don't? So during our happiness, our 20 or 30 days of positivity, I keep saying happiness. Do you guys link positivity with happiness? I do. So being positive, if we radiate that feeling, others are going to feel it. Now, is that right? Do you feel that? If we radiate that, others feel it. I think we've been doing that. I get some feedback from you guys that are saying, holy crap, this trickle down or this pyramid, it snowballs. And what you're saying is, as you change, you start to notice the people around you changing, or not just the people, but the situations in your life and you're just yourself. Is that true? A lot of you have been telling me that. Keep telling me that. Keep letting me know, because that helps me stay on this path too. When I hear back from you, like I told you a long time ago, I'm an applause junkie. It doesn't stroke my ego. What it does is I love it when people are having a good time. I love it when people are learning. I love it when people are sincerely happy, positive. And that's what applause means. Most people don't go, yeah, let's kick his ass. Well, there's a group of people in the MMA world that do that crap, but we avoid that. So I digress. So that's so when you share with me, hey Jim, this helped me this way, or you know what, I tried this, and boom, these people, man, I love that. That's applause. Not for me, but for everything that we're doing together. Okay. Hope the camera's still working. Quantum entanglement. It's a cool idea of connectedness. Remember, we are all one. We're all energy. We're all made of the same thing. And our association with the world comes from our experiences and how we communicate what just took place to ourselves. So our experience is really the communication between what just happened and what meaning we give to it. Let me say that again, because this is today. Our experiences, our instincts, our learned instincts, there's a different word for that. Anyway, what we learn is simply the communication between ourselves and the incident or what took place. How we decide what this means to us and put in there sticks with us until we either change it, adapt it, or move past it, right? Let me explain. You're sitting alone at night and you're at home and you hear footsteps. Now, some people might associate the sound of those footsteps with a creeper or a bad person coming in, right? Others might associate it with their loved one coming in to give them a hug or something. What do those footsteps mean to you? It's going to be based on where your mind, where your focus is, right? And of course, it could be either, but where you focus, right? Either way, you can deal with it the same way. Avoid that. Nix that. Okay, it's too many areas to go. So the quality of your life, and this is Tony Robbins again, the quality of your life is determined by simply the quality of your communication. Okay, that's today. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your communication. The communication with yourself, we've talked about this. Can you talk yourself to be positive? Can you talk yourself into being happy? Yes. How do you do that? By choosing your words and your association with things very carefully. Now, can we be 100% aware of at all times and make sure we don't say anything wrong? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I put my big old size 12 foot in my mouth a bunch. Foot and mouth disease happens when I react, not respond. It happens. What makes me react and not respond? Expectations. How something is supposed to be, or how somebody's supposed to be, or how somebody's supposed to handle something. If I'm not careful, I fall right back into teaching mode, and I think I'm supposed to teach or save everybody. And you'll see that on here. You want to save everybody. Guess what? Not everybody wants to be saved, and not everybody needs to be taught. And as you start to make changes in your life, and you have, you're going to want to share that with everybody. You're going to want to teach them to be happy. You're going to want to teach them to be positive. You're going to share them what you learned. Absolutely 100% do that. Share it with whoever you want. But don't expect them to embrace it like you do. Have you already experienced that? Why can't you just get it? Why can't you be positive? How come you can't drive like me? Why don't you wear the same clothes I do? Right? Now, the best of us do it. Try being a teacher for 43 years and having a relationship that doesn't involve teaching. I don't know. It's just one of my things, right? And I'm working on it. Trust me, I'm working on it. I do enjoy teaching, and I do enjoy helping people, but sometimes people just want to be listened to. People just want to be able to express themselves. People just want to be. Share with me if you do that too, so I know I'm not the only crazy guy out here. Okay, I know you're out there. So let's go back to what we talked about today, and I'll get out of your hair. Today's Sunday, day 28. Be Positive Challenge. We're down to the last 2 days, right? I asked you guys what your favorite, some of your favorite lessons were. Some of you posted them. My daughter, Rihanna, I haven't talked to her in a long time. Got to see her the other day for my grandson's birthday, but she posted on there, Dad knows best. Her dad's always right. There's a lesson, right? Not that I want to brag, because I don't always know the right answer, but if I don't know it, I know where I can find it. I love you, Rihanna. And we all learn lessons over and over again, sometimes the hard way. Some of you put, what was up with this, Art? Salt on a watermelon. What? Sorry I'm picking on you. I've heard that before, but ain't no way for me. One, I try to cut salt out of my diet as much as possible. I get it in naturally, but he seems to think Art, he seems to think that it's good, so maybe I'll try it. I don't know. I'm kind of a what's that word? Creature of habits. From Escanaba into Moonlight. Is that what he says? Creature of habits. I'll go watch the movie again. If you guys haven't seen Escanaba into Moonlight, it's a Michigan thing. But when I got up here, somebody said watch it. I did. It was awesome. So if you want something that'll make you happy or smile today, and you have time, go watch Escanaba into Moonlight. You'll crack up. You'll get a bunch of catchphrases from Michigan. I wonder if it's just a Michigan thing. Anyway, quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement to me means and expresses the idea that since we are all one, what one feels, the other feels. What one can do, the other can do. And as our energy moves through life, we leave vibrational patterns that other people can pick up on. That's experience. That's, I think, instinct to me, or I gotta come up with the other word. So as you plug into the universe and reach for understanding and look for answers, you find them through that radiant energy source, and your programmed your programming. And your programming comes from where? And this is what today was about, your communication. What you've learned or happened or experienced, how you communicated that to yourself. That bridge, that communication bridge, is how you associate your life and your experiences. So the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your communication. If that's true, and I believe it is, wouldn't you spend a little bit of time learning to communicate with yourself? What ways can we communicate? Well, I shared this with you once. I can't remember the percentage. Besides all statistics, I think there's like 60% of all statistics are made up on the spot anyway, right? So let's just say that 80% of all communication is nonverbal. Okay. So, and I think it's more than that. I really think it's like 97 or 98% of all communication is nonverbal. So what does that mean? That means all of these words that we spew, and I'm pretty good at that, only 2% or 10% of our communication or less, right? If that's the truth, how do we communicate with ourselves non-verbally? I love to talk to myself, as if you couldn't tell. The way we stand, sit, carry, smile, feel, look, dress, what we eat, how we take care of ourselves, what we do, who do we surround ourselves with. These are all non-verbal communication skills, correct? Let me go through those again, because I just kind of threw out a bunch of things from my experience mode. Let's say the way you get up and put clothes on in the morning. You get up, you go right into sweatpants, and you sit around, and not that sweatpants are bad, because they're not, but you sit around. The price of watermelon doesn't make me happy, Mr. Huntley. Salt on watermelon makes you happy? Right on. I'm going to have to try it now. Not because Mike Huntley word means more than arts does, but anyway. So the way you dress, the way you carry yourself has an effect on how you feel. If you get up, throw some sweatpants on, go plop your butt down on the couch, stick a watermelon in front of you, salt that watermelon, and then start watching TV, do you feel successful? I don't know. Maybe that's your way of celebrating success. Check it out. I'm successful enough to sit on the couch in my sweats and do this. Now, I'm a sweatpants guy. Why? Because I live in a karate uniform. So when I come out of my karate uniform, I'm in sweats usually, or nothing at all. But very rarely do I get to go out. Anyway, how you carry your facial expressions. Now, I'm really bad at this, but I'm working on it. I normally carry a scowl. I look serious. I normally have a serious face on because I'm focused. Inside, I'm extremely happy, but and you look at my pictures, and my wife goes, "What's wrong? You smile." It's like, I don't like to smile, but I have the scowl, and people associate me with being serious or not happy, or because of the way I look. Sometimes people think I'm scary, and I don't mean to present that, but if they feel that way about me, do you think I perpetuate the feeling by playing along with it inadvertently? Maybe. I try to be happier. I try to smile, but I'm working on it. So how you carry your face. Now, the emotions you feel inside, obviously there's communication with yourself. I'm rambling. Try to stay focused, Jim. It's Sunday. I can't focus. My wife is sitting right there, and I can't quit looking at her. I can't wait to go play Sunday with her. So I got to focus here, okay? What am I doing? Let's go back. I'll reiterate, and then I'll get off of here, guys. I love you. Be positive, day 28. Quantum entanglement. You guys like that idea? I hope so. You want to save everybody. Remember that not everybody wants to be taught. I'd like to know if that's what you're doing. You start your positive thing, and you start sharing it with others, and then you expect others to embrace it like you did, and you find yourself at the end of the day feeling less than complete, or less than, what's the word I'm looking for, less than successful, I guess. I'll address that in a minute, Mike. And you worry that other people are not going to be happy. Now, I do that. And bless my family's heart. They have to live with me, so when they don't do something like I do it, I try to teach them how I do it. And I'm lucky I haven't got a bunch of shoes thrown at me, but they love me enough to tolerate it sometimes. I'm going to change it though. So do you try to teach everybody, and does that affect your positive, your happiness? Because it affects mine sometimes. Communication. This is the huge one. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your communication. Learn to communicate with yourself non-verbally as well, okay? And that non-verbal communication is what comes from inside. It's what we talked about. You can't just speak the words and not mean them. When you get up and you're grateful for something, show you're grateful. Feel it inside from your toes to your hair, if you got any hair left, and show that gratitude. I think that's good. I think that's it. I have when I was thinking about what are we going to do next, and I think about it a lot. I think about you guys all the time. I dream about you. I got a bunch of ideas for our next challenge, or our next 26 sessions. And this morning, it came to me, and I can't wait to. I'll share it with you, like right on day 30. If I forget, ask me. But so that when we go into August, we hit the ground running, and I think it's a good one. Matter of fact, I know it's a good one. And what I'm going to do is spend the next couple of days organizing. I know, right? Organizing the tools I want to share with you, so I don't forget any of them. And then I'll just run with it like I do here. But I know there's 4 or 5 tools that I can put in order if I think hard enough. And then if it becomes what it is, it will become what it wants to be. They're gonna go there. All right, I love you. It's Sunday. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. I gotta go work. I get to go lift some weights. I get to go hang out with my wife. We're probably gonna do some yard work, which is probably what she'll do while I'm lifting weights. But she loves to mow. She gets on the tractor and cruises around. People, people who say money can't buy happiness don't know where to shop. There's a quote for you today. I thought that was funny. People who say money can't buy you happiness don't know where to shop or shop the right places. All right, you guys, I love you. Thanks for hanging in there. Day 28. Keep sharing your experiences. What I want to do at the last day, day 30, is I want to post the top 10 from you guys. And salt on a watermelon is not going to be one of them. But the top 10 lessons you learned, maybe it will, I don't know. Lessons you learned about being positive. Go turn on some cool music. Go watch your favorite movie. Get out in the yard. Do something that makes you happy today. And I'm going to be reaching out, quantum entangling myself to you to see how you feel. Is that creepy? Too bad. I'm going to do it anyway. All right. I love you. Have a great day. We'll talk again tomorrow.